If you don't have the right technical analysis tools, it's basically like flying the plane without any instruments. It can be done, but it's way harder. Today, I'm going to talk about the best way to use technical analysis and the tools to maximize it. Hey everyone, I'm lead trainer with StocksToTrade, Tim Bohen. Be sure to subscribe, share with your friends, and most of all, definitely be sure to ring that bell below to be notified as soon as we post a new video. We also go live a lot. We're doing more and more lives, so if you ring that bell, you get notified right away. So after you do that, now we're going to talk about technical analysis and software and how to use it. So, you know, I've been day trading for over 15 years now. I've used everything, okay? I remember back before StocksToTrade, I used to have 3 or 4 different charting platforms. I had news scans. I had technical scans, you know, that were only looking at the technicals because, you know, you've got to look for the fundamentals, you got to look for the news, and you got to look for technicals like breakouts, breakdowns, you know, high a day, low a day, etc. So, I mean, that was one of the biggest reasons that drew me to StocksToTrade was I was paying maybe 10 different subscription fees, maybe $20, some were $50, some were $100. So I was paying $600-700 plus just for data, just for tools. Plus, the worst part was every day I had to launch all these programs. I had to, you know, this dates me a little bit, but you'd have to like update your Java or update your ActiveX because I mean, a lot of these back then weren't necessarily web apps like we have today. So it took me like 15 minutes just to get everything set up, and then I'd forget a password and I'd have to do the password reminder. So one of the greatest things about StocksToTrade, and that's what I'm here to talk about today, is listen, I'm here for a reason. I love the software. I think it's the best trading platform out there. And it's all in one spot. I mean, that was one of the biggest things that screwed up my workflow. You know, as a day trader, you got to make quick, rapid fire decisions. And if you're dealing with all this overhead of launching these software, updating them, all that, it's just decreasing your productivity. And you're probably going to miss a trade while you're screwing around with this stuff. So that's what's great about StocksToTrade. Everything all in one spot. So let's talk about technical analysis, what it is, why it's so important, and why StocksToTrade excels at that. So when we use technical analysis, we're basically talking about support, resistance, and key levels. So when we talk about support and resistance, I've got a chart up today that was actually a great setup. We went over live yesterday in the Steady Trade team webinars. Be sure to check out that link below. Steady Trade Team's a great mentorship program where me, Mike Huddy, and Kim Ann Curtin and a growing stable of mentors help you learn about trading and maximize your success. So that being said, DPW is a great example of key levels, support and resistance, and breakout areas that we look at. So what we're looking at on this left side here is pre-market, this kind of lighter gray area. You can see the stock spikes, pulls back, and then starts to base in that $3 level. Not a coincidence that that's a whole dollar, half dollar. So these come into technical support and resistance areas because the human brain fixates on round numbers, okay? There's a reason if you're looking at a used car, they price it at $29,999. They don't say $30,000 used car, okay? The brain fixates around whole dollars and half dollars, and you'll see this repeat a lot. So here's a great example. Stock spikes through up to 4. Notice resistance at that whole dollar, half dollar of 4. Pulls back, starts consolidating at 3. So what you're going to look for is you're going to look to key off of those levels. That's how you use technical analysis. So in this instance, what you would look for is that break, that confirmed breakout of that $4 level into the 8:30 a.m. level where I'm hovering here. And then you would risk down on that resistance level, because if it breaks resistance, that tells you that the sellers have taken over, the buyers are no longer in control. You would stop out at that point. And you can see in this example, once it breaks 4, I mean, off to the races, goes as high as 5+ in pre-market, dips a little bit at the open, and then reclaims, goes up to 650. Now, if, let's say it didn't work, you know, that would be an instance where if this stock breaks back down breaks that 3 level, you stop out, you lose $1 a share, but you can see in this instance, there's $2.50 of upside. So you're never going to sell the top, you're never going to buy the bottom, but you can see that there's almost 3-to-1 risk to reward. That's why this is a good example. No matter, even if you stopped out of the trade, because no matter how good the setup is, sometimes you're going to get stopped out. But that's how you key off of these levels. And you'll see this repeat and repeat and repeat over and over again, even into like following days. You can kind of see this stock pulled back hard all the way through the afternoon, but then look at how it held $3 into the close of that day. That is no coincidence, because that was the resistance level from the previous day. Now, that being said, today the stock gapped down again, but as an example, the day we're recording, the Dow is currently down 1,500 points. So there's also some fundamental pressure on this ticker. I think, this thing closed basically at that $3 level. You can see it closed at 305. If the market wasn't getting crushed today, stock probably would have consolidated at 3, and then maybe they get a press release out, maybe they get some news out, a fundamental catalyst, it then perks off of that level. So they just repeat and they repeat and they repeat. And so one of the biggest things that's great about StocksToTrade is we have all of these scans and criteria that we can look at for those levels. Okay, I can look at the day high, the 5-day high. I can look at the lows. I can scan by the daily range. What's my daily range? Where's VWAP? Where's moving averages? So that you can see, and I mean, this is a quick tour. You can see all of these potential indicators, and as well as support and resistance levels, stochastic levels, okay, RSI, all of these technical indicators you can build into a scan to help you find your setup. And that's one of the biggest aspects, one of the best things about StocksToTrade is, back to, when I started this video, I told you, I used to have a screener just for news, separate piece of software. I used to have a screener just for technicals, separate piece of software. Then I had another one that would download the fundamentals for me. So if I'm looking for whether or not the stock is profitable, whether or not the stock is above VWAP, whether it's at a 52-week high, and whether it has news, I've now got to piece that together from 3 different software platforms. Then I jump over on the 4th one and look at my charts. That, I'm telling you, is why I want you to check out StocksToTrade. We've also got pre-built scans, built-in scans that are looking for the biggest percent gainers, the biggest dollar gainers, earnings winners, and these are all built into the package. I mean, you might have took a peek at my screener screen and maybe you were a little intimidated by all this stuff, but what's great about the pre-built scans, day one, you fire up the platform and you've got those scans ready to go to find the biggest movers. I mean, one of the most often used scans is just that built-in top percent gainers. You can see right up here in my upper left screen. I mean, WAFU was one of the biggest movers today. The stock went from, I think, 5 in pre-market to like 15. Oh, I was off. 3 to 15, okay? So went from 3 to 15 in pre-market and then pulled back into the open and did a dip and rip again when it broke VWAP, going from 1050 to 15. That's a 50% move after the open that you could have spotted with that VWAP screener that I use every single day. Let me bring it up and show you just as an example. So what this screener does is it looks for stocks that are hovering around VWAP, that are big movers on the day, that have volume, that have news, and then it alerts me when those stocks break the high of the day, which is a key level we all focus on. So that being said, definitely check out StocksToTrade. We've got a link to the trial below, and the beauty is the trial is fully functioning, okay? You can use the pre-built scans. You can jump on the StocksToTrade University site, which comes included with your trial, and download my personal screeners. They're all linked right here. You can see I've got 8 or 9 of these that I run every day. We've got even more on the university site. These are just kind of what I call them my KISS screeners, my Keep It Simple Stupid screeners, but I've got about 8 of them that I run every single day, like the VWAP scan. These are on the university site. You can download them. You can check them out with your trial, and it's really the best way to shortcut your path to success. I mean, you can't, in this market, okay, we are in the wildest time I have ever seen in 15 years of day trading, okay? I wasn't actively day trading during the dot-com boom in the late 90s, but I know a lot of guys that were. They're saying, you know, I'm guessing you've heard about the insane dot-com boom. These guys that were around back then said it's even more insane now. It's even wilder now. This is the time to be learning trading, and you gotta have the right tools. You gotta have everything in one spot, because if you're jumping around, minimizing, maximizing, these stocks move so fast. I mean, again, WAFU went from $3.80 to $15 in 13 minutes, okay? 13 minutes, this stock spiked almost 400%. You can't be screwing around with the wrong tools. You can't be launching multiple programs. You can't slow yourself down. You gotta be as efficient as possible, and StocksToTrade is the way to do that. So definitely check out the trial, and also check out the SteadyTrade team. It's something I'm really proud of. I've done over 2,100 webinars as of today. You know, I've been mentoring traders for over 4 years. I'm now working with Mike Huddy Hudson. He's predominantly a short seller. I'm predominantly a long, a buyer of stocks. You got that two kind of perspectives to learn both sides of the trade. And then we're also working with Kim Ann Curtin on that mental aspect of things. So definitely check out the SteadyTrade team. It's one of the best ways to learn the software, to learn trading, and shortcut your path to success. And we'll see you next time for the next video.